right, welcome, Tech on Ice. It's cold outside. The water is warmer than outside. I think my outdoor temperature says 1.7 Celsius, so 35, 36 degrees. Cold. All right, let's get started. I want to talk a little bit about. So we talked previously on our previous video, so go check out where I talked about the stuff that came out from Microsoft Ignite a few weeks back. I didn't talk about one particular thing because I wanted to do a little bit more of a deep dive into it. I want to talk a little bit about Microsoft DevBox. So, full disclosure, I'm a vendor at Microsoft, so I work with DevBox a lot. But this is just kind of my general thoughts and opinions on DevBox and what came out of Ignite to really make DevBox awesome. So for folks who don't know, DevBox, Microsoft DevBox, is a cloud-based developer environment. So think of, in similar worlds, you might have like a VDI or like a virtual, desktop sort of experience. This is much more than that. So if you think of like Azure Desktop or Windows 365, I think is what it's called. So this is in a similar kind of segment, but it's geared specifically for developer workloads. And there were some announcements at Ignite that I think are kind of cool in this space. Basically, what DevBox provides you is basically like the ability to have kind of a more seamless experience for like automating like the creation of developer environments. So we've all, as developers, have had to create machines, right? Like I just did this, so this is top of mind. Like I just did a new PC build, so I had to install Windows and then go through and figure out like all the apps that I had previously on my machine and those same apps that I want to move over. And it's gotten better with like WinGet and things like that, but like at the end of the day, it's still like there's still a few hours of work that I have to do manually to do. DevBox solves that to some extent. And one of the things that came out specifically at Ignite was what we call Teams customizations. So, previously you had this idea of customizations where I can provide basically my environment configuration as code, or as a YAML file. Let's be honest. And in there you can like reference PowerShell scripts, or you can reference WinGet or Chocolatey or miscellaneous other things, wherever your heart's content is for building out your environment. But you had to do it at the individual developer level. So like each time you provisioned a DevBox, you would say, okay, this is the GitHub repo that has my environment configurations in it. Do that. So now with project or team customizations, if I'm like a developer lead, like I can define like, okay, this is all the environment configurations at a base level that we need for my environment. And that goes on top of like any custom imaging solution, right? So every time, let's just say I'm a .NET developer and a .NET 9, the latest version of .NET 9, maybe the latest version of VS Code with like the C# developer kit, maybe the latest version of Visual Studio, what have you, right? So I can define those, and then every time somebody on my team creates a box, I get a custom image, but I also get like this customization run after the VM has been created, after the DevBox has been created. So I don't have to go in there and do all the updates myself, right? Which I think is really valuable, because the goal should be to like reduce the amount of time it takes for the developer to like before they code. So theoretically, it clones the repo for you. It installs all the latest version of the tools. So you don't have to do updates. So you log into it. You have seamless sign-in with Visual Studio. You can open Visual Studio and start coding immediately, which is super impactful. Like, so instead of it taking 1 to 2 days to get your machine like to your satisfaction, it's done basically in an hour or an hour and a half, or however long it takes to provision the VM and then run the customizations, which depends on how many customizations you have. So that's pretty cool. There's also things like in the policy space, so being able to kind of control like access to things. Like, maybe I don't want people to be able to use screen recording software on my machine, or I don't want them to be able to take screenshots of the desktop or what have you, right? Like, so these sort of policies were introduced in DevBox also. So, those are some things that came out at Ignite, and why I think it's pretty cool for folks that are in this space looking to build out like Windows based developer environments. Like if you're looking for like non-Windows, like Codespaces is an option, um, GitHub.dev, VSCode.dev, like those are options for like Linux-based environments with like a VS Code front end. But like if you want Windows, like all of Windows, like DevBox is a great option. So that was a quick little thing on DevBox, why I think it's cool. Maybe I'll do some more DevBox stuff at some point in the future because I think there's so much stuff to unpack there. But specifically some of the stuff that came out of Ignite, which I think is pretty awesome. So if you're using DevBox today, like comment down below, like if what you love about it. If you're curious and want to know more, like comment down below, or if you have thoughts, good, bad, or indifferent, comment down below. And then as always, like and share and subscribe. And I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Take care.